What's up, travel lifestyle fam? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving headfirst into a world of high stakes and even higher risks. You think you know casinos? Think again. We're not talking about your lucky slots or your hot blackjack hands. Today we're going full-on Ocean's 11, uncovering the most insane, most daring, most mind-blowing casino heists of all time. We're talking millions of dollars vanishing into thin air, masterminds outsmarting the system, and stories so wild, so unbelievable you'd swear they were straight out of Hollywood. Get ready to have your minds blown, because these stories are going to keep you on the edge of your seat. So, buckle up, smash that like button, hit subscribe if you're new, and let's jump right into the action with the biggest casino heists in history. You won't believe these daring robberies. First up, we're heading straight to the Las Vegas Strip, the dazzling heart of casino action, where the Bellagio casino stands tall and mighty. But even this fortress of fortune isn't immune to a daring heist. Picture this. It's 2010, the casino floor is buzzing with excitement, and then, out of nowhere, a motorcycle roars to a stop right in front of the casino. A figure dressed in black, wearing a motorcycle helmet to conceal his identity, storms through the casino doors. This is Anthony Carleo, a man with a plan and nerves of steel. He marches straight to a craps table, pulls out a gun, and demands the chips. In less than 3 minutes, Carleo makes off with a cool $1.5 million in casino chips. The speed and audacity of this heist left everyone stunned. But the story doesn't end there, folks. Carleo, either incredibly bold or incredibly foolish, decides to return to the scene of the crime later that night. He blends in with the crowd, acting like just another high roller, and proceeds to cash in some of the stolen chips. Can you believe the nerve of this guy? But as they say, what happens in Vegas doesn't always stay in Vegas. Carleo's luck eventually ran out. His reckless behavior and lavish spending sprees raised red flags, and within weeks the authorities were on his tail. The law caught up with him, and Carleo's high-stakes gamble landed him behind bars. He was sentenced to up to 11 years in prison, a hefty price to pay for his few minutes of daring theft. From the glitz and glamour of Las Vegas, we're traveling across the country to the prestigious halls of MIT, one of the most renowned universities in the world. But don't let the academic setting fool you, because this story is anything but boring. This is the story of the MIT Blackjack team, a group of brilliant students who use their brains, not brawn, to take on the casinos and walk away with millions. Imagine this, a group of math whizzes, card sharks in the making, gathered in dorm rooms, not cramming for exams, but developing a system to beat the casinos at their own game. These weren't your average students. They were masters of probability, statistics, and card counting. They saw blackjack not as a game of chance, but as a mathematical puzzle they could solve. For over 2 decades, starting in the late 1970s, the MIT Blackjack team, made up of students and alumni from MIT, Harvard, and other top-tier institutions, traveled the world, infiltrating casinos under the guise of wealthy tourists. They were like a secret society, communicating in code, using signals at the tables, and employing sophisticated strategies to avoid detection. Their weapon of choice? Card counting. By keeping track of the cards dealt, they could determine the probability of winning hands and adjust their bets accordingly. It was legal, it was brilliant, and it was incredibly lucrative. We're talking millions and millions of dollars in winnings. The team's success became the stuff of legends. Casinos, catching on to their sophisticated methods, started implementing countermeasures. Facial recognition software, increased surveillance, and even altering the rules of blackjack made it harder for the team to operate undetected. By the early 1990s, the MIT Blackjack team, once an unstoppable force in the casino world, began to disband. Some members went on to pursue successful careers in finance, technology, and even gambling consulting, utilizing the skills they honed beating the house. The legacy of the MIT Blackjack team lives on, a testament to the power of intellect, teamwork, and a dash of calculated risk-taking. Hold on tight, because we're jetting off to Perth, Australia, where the luxurious Crown Casino, a playground for high rollers and VIPs, became the setting for an audacious inside job. This is the story of James Manning, a man who used his charm, his connections, and a little help from the inside to attempt to pull off one of the biggest casino heists in Australian history. Now, Manning was no stranger to the high life. He was a known high roller, a VIP guest accustomed to the finer things in life. But behind his charming facade, a plan was brewing, a plan that involved exploiting a weakness in the casino's security system. Manning had an ace up his sleeve, or rather, an accomplice on the inside. A casino employee, tempted by greed and promises of a big payout, agreed to help Manning pull off the unthinkable. This insider had access to the casino's surveillance system, the very eyes that were supposed to prevent such heists. With his inside man feeding him information, Manning took to the VIP tables, playing with an air of confidence that belied the elaborate scheme unfolding before everyone's eyes. The employee, monitoring the security cameras, would signal Manning with subtle gestures, tipping him off on when to bet big and when to fold. Manning's wins piled up, quickly reaching an astounding $33 million. But as with all good things, and especially with elaborate casino heists, their luck was about to run out. The casino, noticing the suspicious winning streak and unusual betting patterns, started to investigate. They quickly uncovered the elaborate scheme and swooped in before Manning could cash out his ill-gotten gains. Manning was apprehended, banned from the casino for life, and faced the full force of the law. The Crown Casino, though initially shaken by the audacious heist attempt, managed to recover most of the money. The Crown Casino inside job serves as a stark reminder that even in the world of high-stakes gambling, where fortunes can change in an instant, the house always has a way of evening the odds. Chapter 4, the Circus Heist. Get ready for a wild ride because we're heading back to Las Vegas, baby. But this time, we're not talking about card sharks or high rollers. This story involves an armored truck driver, a daring escape, and a love story for the ages. Buckle up, folks, because this is the story of Heather Tallchief and the Circus Heist. In 1993, Heather Tallchief was behind the wheel of an armored truck responsible for transporting millions of dollars. But Heather had other plans, involving a life on the run with the man she loved, Roberto Solis, a convicted murderer turned poet. When the armored truck pulled up to the Circus Casino, Heather saw her opportunity. Instead of making the delivery, she drove off into the desert night, $3 million vanishing along with her. Heather and Roberto became modern-day Bonnie and Clyde, living off the grid. In 2005, Heather decided to turn herself in. Heather's cooperation earned her a reduced sentence, but the mystery of the missing millions remained. And what about Roberto? He vanished without a trace, leaving behind a trail of intrigue and unanswered questions. The Circus Heist is a story of love, betrayal, and the price of freedom. Chapter 5. The Ritz Casino Laser Scam. Enter the world of high-tech heists where laser beams and algorithms collide with the spinning roulette wheel. This is the story of the Ritz Casino Laser Scam, a tale of exploiting the tiniest of loopholes. In 2004, 3 gamblers took on the Ritz Casino with a special gadget. They used a tiny laser scanner hidden in a mobile phone. This laser measured the roulette wheel's speed and the ball's trajectory. Inputting this data into a computer algorithm, they predicted where the ball would land. They turned chance into calculated risk, winning £1.3 million. The casino investigated but couldn't find foul play. The court ruled in favor of the gamblers. They hadn't broken any laws. They walked away with their winnings, forever remembered in casino heist history. Chapter 6. The Soboba Casino Vault Robbery. Hold on to your hats, folks, because we're heading back to California, where the Soboba Casino, nestled amidst the rolling hills, became the target of a brazen robbery. This isn't a story of high-tech gadgets or elaborate schemes. This is a story of brute force, betrayal, and a desperate gamble that went terribly wrong. Meet Rolando Luderamos, a casino surveillance technician who knew the ins and outs of the Soboba Casino. Driven by greed, Rolando hatched a plan to rob the casino vault. He enlisted an accomplice, someone willing to risk it all for a share of the loot. They made their way to the vault, where millions of dollars were stored. Using his insider knowledge, Rolando disabled the alarms and bypassed the cameras. They made off with $1.5 million, vanishing into the night. The FBI was called in, and the hunt for the perpetrators was on. Within 48 hours, they were caught, their dreams of luxury dashed. The Soboba Casino Vault robbery is a cautionary tale, a reminder that crime doesn't pay. Outro, don't try this at home. So there you have it. Travel Lifestyle fam, the most daring, the most audacious, the most mind-blowing casino heists in history. From high-tech lasers to old-fashioned smash and grabs, these stories prove that when it comes to casinos, truth is often stranger than fiction. But remember folks, these stories are just that, stories. While the thrill of the heist might be tempting, the reality is far less glamorous. Crime doesn't pay, and the house, as we've seen time and time again, almost always wins. If you're looking for a real adventure, stick to exploring the world, experiencing new cultures, and maybe trying your luck at the casino the right way, responsibly and within your means. And hey, if you ever find yourself in Vegas, remember to keep an eye out for those sneaky high rollers. You never know who might be planning the next big heist. So there you have it, the most daring casino heists in history. These stories prove that some people will go to great lengths to beat the house. But as we've seen, the house almost always wins. If you're curious about the best places to try your luck or where the locals in Las Vegas go to gamble, stay tuned for our next video. Subscribe, hit the bell and keep your chips close. Thanks for watching, and until next time, stay adventurous.